everyone. I hope everybody's doing simply amazing. It's been a minute since I've caught up with you guys, and I'm just wanting to catch up with you now. Cooper is sitting right next to me. I'll show him real quick. Oh, he's rolling over now. There, Cooper. Say hi. Say hi to your fans, Coop. Say hi, everybody. You can lay back down. I'll put him on his back since that's what he wanted to do. Anyway, how's everybody doing? I hope everybody is doing simply amazing. I am in Salt Lake City. I now have an apartment here. Surprise if you didn't know. Well, I think I told everybody I was going to get a home base on the West Coast so that way I could explore the West Coast, because I have to have doctor's appointments and eye injections and stuff. So I am temporarily not in the van. That does not mean that I'm giving up van life. That does not mean that I'm giving up exploring. That simply means that for me to be able to come out here and to enjoy and embrace the West Coast, I can't be zigzagging around the country every 3 months getting injections in my eyes. So let's catch up. A lot has happened. We got here, we got situated. I got to see snow briefly, for the first time in 7 or 8 years, 9 years, because I was living in Florida and of course it doesn't snow there. I enjoyed it. It was a brief thing. I saw it out of my window and ran down and took Cooper outside and walked around, and it was nice. It was his first time seeing snow. I'm gonna put bits of clips in to just show you just stuff that we've been up to. Thank you. Is it snowing? It's snowing. It's the first time I've seen snow in 7 years. First time Cooper's seen it at all. This is pretty cool. Randomly started, I was seeing it out the window and I'm like, wait, is that snow? Because it started off just a few and then it just kept getting more and more and blowing right through. Pretty cool. To walk around, I went up to see where the temples are. They're under reconstruction, so there's a bunch of scaffolding and stuff around it, but the grounds were absolutely gorgeous. Some of the footage here that I'm going to show is going to be about a month ago, honestly. So we're walking around downtown Salt Lake City, and this would be the Mormon temple of the Church of Latter-day Saints. As you can see, it's under construction. It's beautiful here though. So I figured I'd show it as I'm taking a walk and kind of exploring the city, and I thought I'd take you with me so you can see the flowers and just see part of the city. Let's take a walk. So beautiful. I feel like I just walked into an Easter basket. Wow. Wow. This is stunning.
Fabulous, huh?
It's beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. The time it took somebody to do this and plan it out, and all the colors that work so nicely together, like the purples and the oranges and the yellows and the whites. in the pinks, and it's just beautiful. Wow, it's just absolutely stunning. Beautiful job. So I've been taking the time to just relax. Honestly, I'll be completely honest, I was very tired. Being on the road is more exhausting than I think most people will give it credit for. Yes, you get to see amazing things, and yes, you get to do some incredible things as well. And traveling is very freeing, and being out in nature is just very good for your soul. It's also very tiring. It's tiring to try to figure out where you're going to sleep, how you're going to fill up your water, where you're going to dump your waste. All of that takes a lot of thought, and I do have cognitive issues, so it does take me a little bit longer. But it is possible for somebody that might be aging or somebody that may have certain disabilities. Even within your limitations, you can make things work. You really can. So I am establishing doctors here in Salt Lake City. I had to have my eye injections. I've already got the eye injections. I'm doing well. It was a very different experience this time. I'm no longer doing the Eylea, and we did Avastin in both eyes, just so this doctor can kind of gauge what she thinks might be. This is a female doctor as opposed to a male doctor. It just happened to be who I saw in the retina specialist that I saw. Anyway, so eye injections are done. I do want to have some pretty extensive dental work done so I can have a beautiful smile again. And that's something that's been high on my list and is something I've been self-conscious for years. So while I'm here in Salt Lake, I'm gonna go ahead and establish a dentist and primary doctors and neurologist and all that. So that way I can take care of my health from the inside out. My middle son is getting married this fall, and I'd love to be able to smile and show him how happy I am in his pictures out at looking, you know, not so pretty. Because I have a tooth that, you know, ended up had a filling that got chipped, and now part of it's missing. I'm sure you can see it in my videos. It's right there. And I'm missing another tooth. And you know, there's simple things that you just become self-conscious of over time. I want to take care of that and start addressing those things. When I first got here, the first thing I wanted to do was take a bath every single day, 2 or 3 baths a day. I loved taking baths before. I always would love it. It was my relaxation time, I guess you could say. So it was really nice. I think I soaked so many times. Every part of my body that I could, I just wanted clean. Because Planet Fitness is great for a shower, but it wasn't every day that I could get to one or I was close to one. So of course it was nice to indulge in it when I can, but there's nothing like a good bath in your home, to be honest. The other thing I noticed on the road is a lot of people that are full-time have a home base. I didn't realize that going into it. Unless they're truly homeless, most of them have a home base or some place that they can call as a home base, whether it's an apartment, a roommate situation, a small studio, or even a family member, a sister, a brother, an aunt, parent, something of that nature where they can go back to. I didn't really have that. And that's the one thing I really wanted. Now, I think that it'll probably go back to the East Coast because I do like the East Coast. Granted, I haven't really experienced West Coast, but I have 3 kids and my kids are on the East Coast. But for the next year or so, I want to explore the West Coast. And that's what I'm going to do. I don't want to mislead anybody because some of this is going to be outside of the van. And I don't know if you want to see like the day-to-day things that I'm doing. There's still going to be trips in the van. I still want to go explore. There's the Bonneville Salt Flats. I mean, Salt Lake City has got the Great Salt Lake, you know, Antelope Island. You know, I want to go down into the canyons. I want to go up into the cottonwoods. I just want to experience and see things, and I want to take you guys along. Another thing that I've always wanted to do is I've always wanted to get into night photography. I've always liked photography, just regular still photography, but I don't know all of the exposures and stuff, and I've tried before, and it doesn't always work out well. Sometimes not so good. I'd love to be able to capture some of that beautiful starry nights, you know, when I go visit these places. So if I had somebody that could teach me and I could understand and learn how to do that, I'd love to take some beautiful pictures or some videos or something of the night sky. I think that'd be really nice to do. And to learn, it's just something I've always wanted to do. So I'd like to find somebody like that teaches that here. For the next 2 months, since it is hot, 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 and this is the first summer that I'm getting to spend inside in the last 3 years. I've been in the van full time. I did it in a minivan for over a year and a half. And then I did it in the van that I have now, my Transit. And I know what it's like to be in Florida. I know what it's like to be in 120 degrees. I know what it's like to be going through everything. And truthfully, I'm very blessed to be able to also have a home base for this particular summer. I am more stationary right now because, like I said, I do want to establish these things, but that also means I want to experience the city life. I love theater. I love the arts. I've always have. I want to also go and embrace all that. Another thing I want to do, whether it's fall or winter, is I've always wanted to do the train that goes from the East Coast to the West Coast, and it's the California Zephyr. So I do plan on taking you guys with me, and I do plan on taking that trip because why not? It literally has a stop here in Salt Lake, and I can take it out to see my kids. I don't know when that'll be. I don't know specifically yet, but I will. So I think good things are on the horizon, as well as I'm thinking of having my van built out, or maybe I'll get a different rig. I'm still undecided, and I'm trying to figure all that out while I'm here. I don't know why my eyebrows, and I'm doing like this. You would think that I've never talked to a camera, and I have. I don't know. It's been a while. So there's been a lot going on. I will say, since I've been here, I've got to meet some nice people. I've got to experience a little bit about the city. I like walking around. I like seeing it. I went down to the farmer's market. I go up to the stores. I just see the town. Walk over to like the Gullivan Center. I can imagine that this town is absolutely going to be stunning in the winter, and I can't wait to experience it. I think it'll bring that magical, you know, with the snow falling and the ice skating and it'll bring a nice little mix to my life that I've always wanted and would love to see. I just want to experience it. That's it. I'm doing a great job. Since I've been here, I've had to buy a couple of things. I'll show you guys also how I furnished my little place. It's not going to be anything much. It's nothing expensive. I'll show you how I did it on a budget. If you're interested, if you don't give a shit, that's fine. I don't have to show you, that's fine. But if you want to see how I did this and how I kept things cheap and how it's going to be comfortable for me to live in, I don't mind showing you either, because my creature comforts may be a little different than somebody else's, but maybe I can show you guys a way of doing things on a budget. My neighbor, the first 2 weeks I think I lived here, had his door blew off. There was a police raid. Yep. I'll show you the footage of that in here too. All right, so the reason that I knew something was going out is because I was getting ready to take Cooper out to go potty, and I came out my door and I turned to the right to head down the hallway to the elevator, and I noticed what I thought initially was a couch, but it happened to be the police with shields up, because when I turned to the left to go towards the stairs, they were standing about 3 feet away from me with shields up. And then I turned again and looked to the right, and there was more police, and they just told me to go back inside. So then, of course, I started to film, and I saw this, but I noticed a tube that was following them. And next to my door, I had the butane and the propane sitting. So I hurried up and ran that into the bedroom because I didn't know what was going to happen, if somebody was going to shoot or blow up the place or what. I heard this loud boom and came back out, and of course, the smoke alarm's going off. There's smoke in the apartment. I come out. Cooper was sitting near the door, so he, of course, was scared, and he took off running. I grabbed him, and it just was, they were calling, of course, for the person to come out of the apartment. There actually was nobody in the apartment. They already had this person in custody and were questioning him at the police station. So all of this was for nothing. Found out that they had so many police officers here. It was a big ordeal. Guy's door is still not fixed. They just have a piece of plywood up. It did break my door. Blew my locks off because I am, of course, connected in the hallway. Anyway, so what an ordeal the first 2 weeks. Cooper hears noises. When Cooper hears noises, he gets scared. It's so weird. I don't know why he does that, but he does still. Yesterday, we had the Red Bull soapbox races here in downtown Salt Lake City. We also ended up having some of the protests here. There was probably over 10,000 people. I'll show you some of the footage here with that too. am safe. Unfortunately, there was a shooting yesterday that took place during the protest. I haven't heard like the outcome. I know one was in critical condition and rushed to the hospital, and I believe the shooter himself also was injured. So I don't know the specifics, so I'm not going to try to guess. But I'm sure more information about that will come out in time. That way, that way.
Kind of like the federal thing.
Anyway, I'm safe. Taking a break from the van for a little bit, setting up my home base, getting familiar with it, setting up some doctor's appointments, and then figuring out if I'm going to build out my van, or if I'm going to keep it as a no build, or if I'm going to get a different rig altogether, because I've also been contemplating something different. So we'll see as time goes on what's going to happen, and I will keep you guys updated. But I didn't want you guys to wonder where I was or what was going on. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.